Yo, what's up guys, Great here, and today we've got our week 3 battle of the APAA Academy. We're going up against ItzWhateva and his Himalayan Hitmontops, I want to say it is. I'm pretty sure that's his team name. He had a scary team. I don't actually remember it because, as you might be able to tell from the screen, this is going to be a post-com. When we played this game, we had a friend round, and I didn't want to commentate when they were around, so instead of doing a live com, it's going to be post-com. And we're actually going to just press play because there's no point in doing anything else. The team we're running is a Adamant Joy Scarf, Blaziken, a bulky Eviolite, Scyther with Bug Bite, Dual Wing Beat, Swords Dance Roost, Porygon 2, especially defensive with Magic Coat to try and prevent the webs or the rocks from going up from either Uxie or Galvantula. We've got physically defensive Duraludon with Shuffleberry. This is our answer to Heracross because Heracross is super scary for our team. Choice Scarf Heracross, we have very little to actually answer. Then we have our Inteleon with Life Orb, 3 attacks, Workup. And Sandslash is specially defensive with the Heavy Duty Boots with Earthquake, Stone Edge, Rapid Spin and Spikes. Realistically, I don't see Sandslash doing too much in this game, especially because he brought like everything that it does nothing against. I guess it could get an Earthquake off against Lantern. It's pretty good against the Galvantula if it doesn't have Energy Ball. It could be decent in this matchup. Like defensively, it's not bad, but really looking at like Porygon 2 to do most of the defensive work. Hopefully Duraludon work as bait for the Heracross, and if the Heracross goes down, then Blaziken and Scyther kind of just go in against this team. Especially Blaziken, like I can click Close Combat pretty much for free. Obviously the Uxie is a big problem, but nothing else on his team wants to take a Close Combat. So as long as we can actually like do some damage to the Uxie, then it shouldn't be able to take 2. And we're going to lead off with our Porygon 2. It's kind of to catch a Galvantula lead, and he actually leads off with Lantern. I don't want to get toxic, so I switch out into my Duraludon Scout. I don't have amazing switch-ins to Lantern. I realistically only have Porygon 2 and Duraludon, but he reveals the Discharge, and I thought if he has Volt Switch here, then he's probably a Soul Vest, and I don't need to worry really about this Lantern at all, because there's nothing it can do to Porygon 2 to threaten it at all. I forgot to mention actually we were analytic on our Porygon this week, so hopefully we're going to be able to do a good amount of damage. It does a decent chunk to the Galvantula. It should be able to knock it out after rocks, and Shadow Ball should knock out Mr. Mime after rocks as well. But which we are going to set up here, and we're going to see the Volt Switch. I thought like rocks was just going to be really handy, that little bit of chip. It's great for being able to knock out the Heracross after it close combats me. It's great for knocking out things like the Galvantula that could be sashed, potential Eviolite, Mr. Mime. And everything else on his team just takes a little bit of chip. I didn't expect him to have any heavy duty boots outside of those two. So rocks seem pretty good in this matchup. And I kind of want to bait in the Heracross. That's kind of why I'm staying in. Getting Duraludon in early is basically here to make him think that he can click Close Combat for free. I did think if it comes out I might go into Slifer, but I'm pretty sure I very quickly click Draco Meteor on this turn. I just lock in Draco straight away. I fully expect Close Combat to come out, and we are going to take that with our Shuffleberry. Despite taking 2 hits from the Lantern, we still have like plenty of Fizz Def to be able to take that. And Draco Meteor I think was a roll, but I honestly can't remember. I just remember being a bit worried that, in fact I think I was more worried that it was going to miss. But it should take out Heracross from here. And we do connect, which is always helpful, and we do knock out the biggest threat to our team, being the Heracross. Honestly, Porygon 2 looks pretty free in the rest of this game. Outside of like Focus Blast on Mr. Mime, there's not a lot of fighting coverage that he has on his team. So it looked really good for checking pretty much everything. This Uxie, I got a couple of things that can deal with this. Realistically, I go into Sandslash, I go into Scyther, or I go into Porygon 2. I decided to go into Slifer just because if he sets up the rocks, I'm not heavy duty boots this week, so I wanted to make sure I got my Slifer in before the rocks went up, because actually Slifer should be able to do quite a lot against his team, and he actually reveals a sub. So I assume this is sub Calm Mind 2 attacks. I don't expect him to have Stealth Rock. He could be sub Toxic as well, it's entirely possible. I think sub Toxic will be a bit more annoying, but on this turn I just quickly see how much Dual Wing Beat is doing. It's always breaking the sub, but after a Swords Dance, it's able to break the sub with one hit, and that's ideal. Like, if I can break the sub with one of the hits, and then be able to do damage with the other one, he really can't stay in and keep subbing. So yeah, I'm just going to serve a Swords Dance. We are quicker. I had quite a aggressive speed creep, I think, on this Scyther. So it does actually kind of worry me later in the game. But for now, we see that we are able to outspeed the Uxie. It really doesn't do any damage to us at all. We aren't especially defensive invested at all. We're more physically defensive invested because we want to be able to take a hit from Heracross. If we knew it was locked into like close combat or facade, something like that. So we're going to Job Wingbeat, and yeah, we're easily going to break the sub with the first hit, as we see the second one does like, I don't know, like 40%, 30 to 40 I would say. And Psychic is still just kind of bouncing off of us. It's not really doing that much damage at all, but I do kind of just want to go for a Roost on this turn. If I'm at full HP or close to, I'm able to take hit from anything on his team, even a Galvantula, unless it's like a Specs Thunder. I think I can take a hit, and I can probably knock it out with a Dual Wing Beat. I would assume it would knock out. So I'm just going to Roost up, not really fearing anything that comes in. Like I said, I should outspeed everything as well with this, unless I've got my speed creep wrong. And then Cypher would be in a bit of trouble against things like the Mr. Mime. In fact, Galvantula is the one thing that outspeeds me. But he's actually going to go to his Lantern. And honestly, Lantern can't do that much damage to me. Slifer is super bulky with an Eviolite. Like, against these lower tier mons, it doesn't care that much. I'm just going to click Bug Bite. I want to get damage off on the Lantern because it can be really annoying for my team, and that Bug Bite does like 85-90%. As this Volt Switch, again, it really doesn't do much at all. It's about 30%. I would definitely take that trade off because Lantern is effectively dead on switching. One of his switches down to Blaze Kick, or Flare Bits from my Blaziken is down. At this point, actually, I can pretty much just click it. I think the only thing I'm worried about is the Licky Licky. Licky can be pretty bulky and cause me some issues. But here I'm just going into my Porygon 2. This is effectively what it's left to check because Uxie's weakened, Lantern's weakened. Mr. Mime is obviously in the back, which could be a bit annoying, but I kind of expect the webs, but at the same time I think he's very brave clicking webs against a Cypher at +2. So yeah, the Thunder comes out and it doesn't do a lot to Porygon, like, at all. And here I could go for the Magic Coat, but I'm thinking maybe this could be Choice Scarf as well. Magic Coat would have been a decent scout. Like I said, everything else on his team doesn't really deal with Porygon 2 at all. So I could have gone for Magic Coat and bounce back these Sticky Webs, but unfortunately not going to be the case. I'm just going to go for the Tri Attack, and Tri Attack actually just knocks out this Galvantula. Analytic boosted, does so much damage, and he's got his webs up, so you know there's that. But this shouldn't be too much of an issue. Like I said, Porygon 2 is incredibly bulky and very good in this game, with the very limited coverage he could potentially have for it. I think Body Press is like the one thing on Licky Licky that he could possibly have. But I don't think I'm too worried about it. I don't think I'm worried about Licky Licky at all. As it actually comes in here, and I decide to Scout. I feel like because he's like a lot of the things that are good against my team are weakened, like the Lantern's weakened, Uxie's weakened, that I can just go for a Tri Attack here, Scout for damage, see if he is a Body Press variant or not, because I can easily switch in my Blaziken on Body Press and we'll knock it out in close combat. The range that the Uxie is at, I don't think that Uxie's going to take that hit at all, but unfortunately because of the webs we're not going to be able to outspeed something like Mr. Mime. In fact, Mr. Mime is the only, like, does actually outspeed. So I'm thinking about whether I want to go hard into Blaziken here or whether I want to just go into Scyther and take this hit. I think if he's going to click a move, then he's probably going to click Body Press, but I do decide that in the end I'm just going to try and Scout for damage, Scout for a set. As he just clicks Body Slam, so I assume he hasn't got Body Press at this point. I don't get paralysed, which actually would have probably been better in this game in the end, but spoilers for that. We actually get a freeze with the Tri Attack, so Licky Licky is now frozen. And I messaged him and I said, I'm going to give you like a few turns to thaw out, I'm just going to click Magic Coat. like 3 or 4 times, and then I'm gonna basically just kill this thing, because I'm not gonna get, I kind of throw this game trying to wait for a Licky to unfall, because it may never happen. So I'm gonna spam Magic Coat for a few turns, which is gonna be really fun. But I didn't recover, I think, because I didn't want to take advantage of the freeze. No, initially I was like, yeah, I'm not going to take advantage of it on these turns. Realistically, I should have recovered just to make sure that I was safe against things like the Mr. Mime. That would have been a smart play. But I guess like I tried to be a good sport and not actually play properly or play well. So yeah, I'm just going to keep spamming the Magic Coat. I'm not sure how many turns it's been now. I think on the next one I'm just going to go hard out into my Blaziken. And if he unfalls and gets the Body Slam off and then paralyzes me, then that would be very unfortunate. But hopefully that wouldn't happen. And if it does happen, it kind of makes up for the freeze here, I guess. But honestly, I don't think Porygon was ever 1v1ing this Licky at all. I think on this turn, yeah, this turn I decided I'm just going to go out to Blaziken, and I'm going to click Close Combat. I'm going to claim a kill. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Because Uxie cannot take that hit now. Mr. Mime doesn't switch in on a Close Combat. And like I said, Lantern's pretty much dead at this point. If I had U-turn, I would have clicked it on this turn, which would have actually been kind of ideal. But at the same time, I decided, yeah, just click Close Combat, just get rid of a kill, get rid of him on his team. Adamant Close Combat, there was just nothing that took that hit outside of Uxie, and Uxie's at like 30%. Could have clicked Blaze Kick, maybe, but I don't think it matters. Like I pretty much pick up a kill here, and then he goes into Mr. Mime. That's just how he has to play this. Lantern's going to drop to his Close Combat. No surprise, it's at 5%. And yeah, you're going to see the Mr. Mime come in. It's his only play. It's the only thing he can do. I guess Uxie may... No, Uxie would have outspent. What am I talking about? I'm Choice Scarf. Unless he was like max speed, because I don't remember if I crept for max speed Uxie on this set, but yeah, he's just going to go to Mr. Mime, and I can go Porygon 2. It should be able to 1v1 this just fine. I was looking at calcs. I think even with Eviolite, a analytic boosted Shadow Ball should just knock it out. I think at one point I'm just like, should I go into Inteleon? And that would just be a stupid play. Because with the webs, he would outspeed me, and I gain nothing from it. So eventually I'm just going to go into Porygon 2. I don't know why I'm taking so much time over this. I guess I'm just like calcing Focus Blast. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm just calcing Focus Blast to see whether or not it's a 2-hit KO from here. I think it is, but at the same time he has to hit 2. Saying that, I don't think I've seen anybody miss a Focus Blast against me for a while, so entirely possible he does hit both. And he's actually just going to go for the Psychic. This does actually very little damage. Start doing like 25, 30 damage. Like it's not doing a lot at all. I can just recover. I want to be at the most amount of health, because realistically Porygon 2 should just be able to see out this game, unless the Licky unfalls. But it's if Licky comes in, I just click Close Combat with Blaziken again. So he actually goes for the Nasty Plot on my recover. So this becomes a little bit more scary. I should still take the Focus Blast. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't take this Focus Blast now after the recover, because I think it was doing like 38 to 40, like 40% min, max even. Sorry, not min. I don't think it was doing any more than 80% with the Nasty Plot boost. So we should have always taken that hit, and obviously he has a chance to miss. As we're going to see that he actually goes for the Ice Beam on this turn. Eventually he'll go for the Ice Beam on this turn. As like I said, Shadow Ball should just knock out this Mr. Mime. I can't remember what that calc was for, whether it was Eviolite or not. But we actually get frozen as well. So freeze for a freeze, I guess. This is QPBA week 2. Week 3, where I got a freeze for a freeze, and then APA Academy week 3, we got a freeze for a freeze. However, neither of us are going to fall in this game. So unlike Salty, who had his Volcanion 4 against my Suicune, we're not going to unfortunately have that luck. as I believe he just clicks Focus Blast on this turn and takes us out. And this got me a little bit worried, because I was like, if he has just like max speed Mr. Mime, he actually outspeeds my Cypher, because I've crept for a creep on his Mr. Mime, I believe. Like whatever I think the Mr. Mime is going to be creeping, I've gone for a creep on that. So there's a chance that I just lose at this point because of that freeze, and that's going to really suck. So I don't have any other play. Like everything else on my team gets OHKO'd by Mr. Mime. I mean, Mr. Mime is a threat. I knew this before a game, but I'm pretty sure everything else on my team gets OHKO'd, apart from maybe Sound Slash because it's Spadef, but I would have thought Ice Beam was going to knock it out. So I just had to hope that my speed creep doesn't come back to haunt me on this. And fortunately it doesn't. Bug Bite is going to be able to do enough damage. Like, it's always just did enough damage, even if Eviolite, unless he was like max Fizz Def, but if he was max Fizz Def, then honestly I don't think he took me out of an Ice Beam. Cypher is incredibly bulky, and all he's got left now is the Uxie and the Licky that's frozen. So yeah, I'm just gonna Bug Bite in case he decides for some reason. I don't know why I went for Bug Bite. Bug Bite does less than Dual Wing Beat, so I go for it on this turn. It does a decent amount of damage. I just kind of wanted damage. I didn't SD in case he unthawed, in case he thawed, and then went for Body Slam, got the paralysis, and I just got super unlucky. I didn't want anything like that. I just wanted to get damage, so I knew that Blaziken was going to be able to just come in and click Close Combat and or click Blaze Kick and just see out this game. I could also click Knock Off, hopefully, with my Blaziken, but he is going to stay frozen. So yeah, unfortunate for him that he stays frozen this long, but I think at this point the game's kind of done. It doesn't really matter. I can just come in with Blaziken, I can go in with my Inteleon. Both should just be able to clean up this game. But actually it's going to be Cypher that does that, knocking out the Licky that stayed frozen for like 7 turns. I feel real bad for that, but I did try and give him an opportunity to fall, and it didn't want to. It wanted to stay frozen. So yeah, Cypher is going to pick up 3 kills again to see out this game, much like it did in week 1. Yeah, week 1, because week 2 was against Shuckleking. Yeah, it got 3 kills at the end of week 1. It got 3 kills at the end of week 2. Sorry, week 3 even. So Cypher is really going for that MVP race, but we are going to be able to pick up the 5-0 win against ItzWhateva. I would say a good game, but honestly that was a very hacksy one. Freezes on both sides. I think the freeze on the Licky definitely was annoying for him, because I knew what his set was after the game. It was actually a Curse Rest Talk set, which definitely could have caused me some problems, but I think I would have been able to. Like, if I saw Curse, I go hard into Blaziken, and I just click Close Combat, because Close Combat, even at +1, it's easy going to 2 KO. Put it in range at least of something else to be able to knock it out. Probably a Hydro Pump from the Inteleon, maybe a Body Press from Duraludon. I should have been able to take it out after a Close Combat, but the one on Porygon 2 really sucked for a moment. I thought I lost the game. I was just going to get swept by Mr. Mime. I would have been mad because, you know, Mr. Mime is a threat, but yeah, we were fortunately quicker than his speed creep, and we were able to pick up the win. So we moved to 2-1 plus 8, I believe. We picked up 2 5-0 wins either side of a 2-0 loss, and I think, I don't even know how many teams make playoffs, but there's only like an 8-week or 9-week season, so every win really matters, and differential definitely matters as well. But if you did enjoy the battle, then please do leave a like and subscribe, because we actually gained like a stupid amount of subscribers for like my level recently. It's been really nice to see, even though my uploads have been a little bit temperamental because of work. It's still great to see that support. And yeah, until the next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.